It's Monday, November 18. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. Residents of St. Thomas and Portland will soon have access to a better road network. Prime Minister Andrew Holness broke ground to commence the multi-billion-dollar Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. The project, to be executed by China Harbour Engineering, will see the rehabilitation of approximately 110 kilometers of roadway between Harbour View in St. Andrew and Port Antonio in Portland, and the 26-kilometer thoroughfare from the Morant Bay to Cedar Valley in St. Thomas. Speaking at the official launch in Yallah's St. Thomas, Prime Minister Holness said the project forms part of the government's strategic development plan for unlocking growth prospects in the eastern end of the island. The Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project is part of the government's strategic development plan for the unlocking of the growth prospects on the south coast by connecting Negril, Westmoreland to Port Antonio, Portland via a modern highway system. The business sector is being encouraged to continue supporting the government as it embarks on the second phase of the ban on specific categories of plastic packaging material, which ultimately aims to protect the environment. Government Senator Matthew Samuda made the call as he opened the 2019-2020 State of the Nation debate during Friday's sitting of the Upper House.
The companies that play in this particular category of product, Mr. President, have amazing capacity for distribution. They can assist the government in ensuring that this policy is implemented seamlessly with as little pain and that we get it right, Mr. President. So I look forward to their participation and support and partnership in getting this policy right, because there are other policies similarly which must come as we seek to provide for and protect the Jamaican environment for our children and grandchildren, Mr.
The ban, which was first proposed by Senator Samuda through a private member's motion in 2016, is on the importation, manufacture, distribution, and use of single-use plastic bags, commonly referred to as scandal bags, expanded polystyrene foam, Styrofoam, and plastic drinking straws. The first phase of the initiative, which began in January this year, mainly focused on curtailing the importation of these items. The second phase is scheduled to begin January 1, 2020, when a complete ban on Styrofoam comes into effect.
I have noted comments from sections of the society and the private sector relating to a request for a delay in the implementation of the second phase of the ban of expanded polystyrene foam, commonly referred to as Styrofoam. Mr. President, I need to put it on the record of this Parliament and state publicly, I have no intention of supporting such a request and consideration for such a request, Mr. President.
Additionally, the importation of plastic straws attached to juice boxes and drink pouches will be banned as at January 1, 2021. Senator Samuda pointed out that the process to institute the ban took 3 years. Citing a 2018 United Nations State of Plastics report, he also noted that the UN has revised the projected biodegradable timeline for expanded polystyrene foam from 450 years to 1,000 years. Tourist arrivals to Jamaica will pass 5 million next year. The island's hotel room stock is poised to increase by some 7,000 rooms in 10 years. That is the latest projection based on new developments slated to come on stream. The information was given by Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett at the just concluded Caribbean Hotel Investment Conference and Operations Summit. Against this background, Bartlett called for multi-stakeholder preparations to capitalize on the industry's anticipated hotel boom, as well as the projected increase in cruise ship arrivals by 2023. 374 housing solutions were handed over at the Winchester Housing Development in Green Island, Hanover recently. And Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Pernell Charles Jr., who formalized the handover, is encouraging Jamaicans who do not own a home to take advantage of these and other opportunities initiated by the government to make home acquisition easier. The minister said the Winchester Housing Development Solutions, which are priced as low as $4.99 million, are among the most affordable now available. 5 charities catering to homeless and marginalized persons across the corporate area have received donations totaling $3.2 million from the organization of the annual Kgn City Run and Marathon. The amount represents the proceeds from this year's staging of the event in March. Checks valued at $640,000 each were handed over to the Marie Atkins Night Shelter, Open Arms Development Center, Alpha Institute, Food for the Poor, and Missionaries of the Poor during a ceremony recently held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in New Kingston. Prime Minister Andrew Holness wants Jamaicans to focus on the inflation rate and stop worrying about the recent depreciation in the value of the Jamaican dollar. Addressing the Jamaica Labour Party's Kingston Western Constituency Conference on the weekend, Holness said that while he understands the concerns about the recent slide in the value of the dollar, Jamaicans need to understand that this is a normal market movement. He's quoted saying, "I have confidence in the economic model that is in place, that it will correct itself." He said while the increase in the exchange rate could have an impact on the inflation rate, that is not happening on a one-to-one relationship in Jamaica. The US dollar on Friday, November 15, ended trading at Jamaican $140.40, down by 81 cents. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $105.99, down from $106.91, while the British pound sterling ended trading at Jamaican $180.32, down from $181.47. In regional news, we start with Montserrat, where a record 35 candidates are slated to face the polls today, November 18. This comes amid speculations that a coalition government is likely to be formed. Political commentators say that a large voter turnout is expected. Journalist Tanisha Christopher spoke to CMC News over the weekend about last-minute campaigning.
In Montserrat, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but we have the at-large voting system whereby the Montserrat voters will be seeking to elect 9 individuals to serve in the Legislative Assembly. So the parties would be trying to secure enough votes to command a seat majority of a 5-seat majority, that is, in the Legislative Assembly. In terms of the atmosphere here on Montserrat, it's quite active. The campaigning started off a bit late as the elections was only announced in October, but it has picked up some steam and it is accelerating, and in fact will be climaxing here over the weekend with all the political parties holding their various political rallies in different parts of the communities here on Montserrat. So as we speak, it's quite active in terms of the political parties and their surrogates trying to canvass the island, seeking their votes, trying to consolidate their support heading into Monday's general election.
Christopher said the ruling People's Democratic Movement Party, headed by Labour Minister Paul Lewis, is confident of victory.
Based on the feedback they have been getting from their supporters, that they did the right thing in moving forward democratically with Paul Lewis as the leader of the People's Democratic Movement. But interestingly, on their campaign, some of the members of the PDM have been asking their supporters to vote for the 7 candidates in which they're fielding, plus one. And that one, they say, and they're asking the people to support, is the person of Donaldson Romeo, their former leader. So it's quite interesting, as they're saying there's no love lost and there's still a strong relationship between the members of the People's Democratic Movement and the former Premier, Donaldson Romeo. It's just that Mr. Romeo has decided, based on the feedback from his supporters, to run as an independent candidate.
In Trinidad and Tobago's National Security Minister Stuart Young has made a formal request for a criminal investigation into the opposition involvement with the Cambridge Analytical case. This following a bombshell revelation from whistleblower Christopher Wiley in a new book where he speaks of helping the then ruling United National Congress Party in the last general election to hijack the personal information of citizens in an effort to manipulate the vote. The UNC has categorically denied this. However, Police Commissioner Gary Griffith says a serious investigation is now underway. We get more in this TV6 report.
Police Commissioner Gary Griffith is seeking to assure the public that accusations made by Cambridge Analytica whistleblower Christopher Wiley will be addressed swiftly. According to an update via TTPS press release on Thursday morning, this is where the investigation stands currently. Wiley is the only person of interest, and officers, if the Canadian agrees, will meet with him possibly as early as this weekend to establish if a crime did take place and if others could be culpable. The Commissioner has excused himself from the investigation, and Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Ford will be responsible for meeting persons of interest and seeking any existing supporting evidence. The chain of events, according to the TTPS, will be as follows. Firstly, efforts will be made today to contact Mr. Wiley and seek his agreement to be interviewed. Secondly, if Mr. Wiley refuses to cooperate with the TTPS, the claims then cannot be substantiated and would lack merit, forcing the matter to be closed. Thirdly, if he is willing, the officers would travel to the United Kingdom this weekend to conduct an extensive interview. Fourthly, it is only then that the TTPS would be able to ascertain if what Mr. Riley has stated and whatever evidence produced warrants an investigation in relation to possible criminal activity.
In Guyana, opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo is urging public sector workers to accept the recently announced salary increases. However, he says some public workers will be worse off because they won't be getting any tax-free bonus. The details in this HGP Nightly News report.
The leader added that he found it unusual that the president made the announcement. He maintained that salary increases are routine.
This is nothing new. They should get their money. It's the illegality. It is the contracts that they're issuing now to their cronies that are warned against.
Jagdeo added that the opposition is happy for public servants.
Caretaker governments can deal with the routine. This was in the budget before the no confidence vote. Granger didn't need to announce it. They could have just given the public servants. We're happy for public servants. But the problem is, my concern is they plan to fire between 50 to 20,000 public servants.
Jagdeo said 10,000 persons who work in the joint services are worse off with the increases. He argued that members of the joint services received more under the PPP when compared to the current administration.
Because they used to get their annual salary increase, an increase about between 5 to 8% under the PPP. They used to get that, and then they used to get 1 month tax-free bonus at the end of the year. So now they're getting the salary increase, and that's annualized and made tax-free. That's all they're getting now. They're getting a 9% increase, and they're making the increase tax-free, only the increase.
Since the new government came to office in 2015, the minimum wage for public servants has risen to 77%. Public servants have been receiving steady increases annually.
In sports, we bowl off with cricket. As the series already in their pocket, India women continued their domination over the West Indies women by notching up a 5-run win in the rain-trounced fourth T20 international game at Guyana. India women now lead the 5-match series 4-0 after sealing the series in the third game. In the rain-marred fourth T20 international, which was reduced to a 9-over-side affair, India women made 50 for a loss of 7 wickets after being sent into bat. On to football, as Jamaica will look to finish their League B campaign undefeated when they face Guyana in their final Group C game at the Montego Bay Sports Complex tonight at 8 p.m. The Reggae Boys secured their promotion to League A of the CONCACAF Nations League and dispatched Antigua and Barbuda 2-0 on Friday through goals from Malik Foster and Ricardo Morris. to officially guarantee promotion and an automatic berth into the 2021 Gold Cup. They have an unassailable lead with the group with 15 points and a plus 20 goal difference. In the weather report, the Meteorological Service has continued the flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas of Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, effective until 5 p.m. today. A slow-moving cold front is across Jamaica and continues to influence weather conditions across the island. Additionally, the cold front is projected to linger across the island, resulting in more unstable weather conditions for the next 2 days. A flash flood watch means that flash flooding is possible and residents are advised to take precautionary measures by keeping informed, by listening to further releases from the Meteorological Service, and to be ready for quick action if flooding is observed or if a warning is issued. The Meteorological Service will continue to monitor the situation. And that's the news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom. Pleasant viewing.